Okay, guys, I want you guys to start clapping up right now. Coming to the stage is Mr. Shain Hymon. He's got an amazing presentation for you guys. Come on up here, Shain.
Come on, everybody. Show your love for the Comedy Hour real quick. Yes. We're here. EACL launch, baby. You guys excited? Oh, my gosh. We've worked so hard. I'm so thankful for everybody who's participated with what we're doing so far. It's truly amazing to participate with a company and platform that is in position to change the world on a global scale, right? All right. So if you guys enjoying yourself, let me hear you say yes. Yes, yes. I have a little saying. It's called say yes to success, right? We're living in a world where everything is dictated by no, right? We're constantly being reminded about limitations in life. So I believe if we can say yes to success, if we can say yes to making a change and yes to making a difference, then everything is going to be okay. If you agree, let me hear you say yes. And that's what we're doing. So again, guys, my name is Shain Hymon. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Woot, which is the marketing division for EACL, Esports Amateur Competitors League. And you know what? We're very excited about what this platform is. It truly is an esports business phenomenon, okay? And we worked very hard to position ourselves to soon become the largest fundraising entity in the world. I'm going to say that one more time. The largest fundraising entity in the world. Everybody give that a hand one time, please. You know, the nonprofit community is a very special community. Everybody coming together for special causes and following their passion, following their purpose, right? We've all heard this before. There are two most important days of one individual's life. The day that they're born into this world and the day that they realize why. And everybody in the nonprofit community realizes why. And they're taking action, right? They're following their dreams. They're following their passions to make a difference. And we as an organization, we found solutions to a massive industry, the esports industry. And this industry, even though it is massive, it's still in its infancy. That means there's so much room for growth. And we've positioned ourselves with these solutions to ride that wave of growth. That doesn't come around too often. And we have a founder who has fought he has not stopped at any accord to make sure that we position our platform for nonprofits to benefit from that, okay? So everybody knows that if you want to be huge, if you want to make a difference, if you want to make an impact financially, or if you want to make a difference in people's lives, you have to find a need and fill a void. And that's exactly what we've done in esports. But guess what? A lot of people, even though we're in an esports arena, a lot of people don't know what esports is. So it is our goal, it is our purpose to educate the world on what esports is so they can understand how huge it is. And from that point, they can understand what our platform has done to find solutions in that industry, right? And then from there, you can understand how and why we feel so confidently that we're going to soon become the largest fundraising entity in the world. So with that being said, all of us have heard a statement that knowledge is power, right? You guys heard that? Knowledge is power. Is that true? No, not necessarily. Applied knowledge is power, right? Right? Give that a hand. Because what good is knowing something if you're not going to put it in action in order to gain the benefit from it or to help others benefit from it, right? So it's safe to say that we all are passionate about people and making change and we want to make a difference. If that's true, let me hear you say yes. Yes. You know what? I love the way you guys say yes. I do. Okay? So we're going to share with you more about the esports industry, okay? We're also going to share with you more about our platform and how we found solutions and what we're doing to make a change in it and how that is going to position us to become the world's largest fundraising entity. So if you guys are excited and you're ready to hear this information, let me hear you say yes. Oh, I like the way you guys say yes. So next slide, please. So it gives me great pleasure to bring up our next speaker, our next presenter. This gentleman is a true professional in every sense of the word, right? He's the CEO of Woot, okay? And he's literally worked tirelessly to help this platform become in the position that it is today for us to be able to make a difference on a global scale. So without any further ado, I want you guys to all help me give a warm welcome for Mr. Tim Pidcock.
Hey everybody, how you doing? No, I'm not going to dance. You don't want to see that, okay? But this picture was taken of me when I weighed 50 pounds more, but back when I met Mr. Reddick, all right? So I've been working for him tirelessly ever since, and I lost 50 pounds as a result. So if you're looking to lose weight, Mr. Reddick's the man, okay? So the esports industry that we're tapping into, the other thing about this picture is taken of me at UC Irvine. So UC Irvine has an esports arena on campus. And we were there one day at an organization called 1 Million Cups presenting our idea to the technical community that supports UC Irvine. Got tremendous feedback. That was our first indication that we were really, truly onto something. We knew we had a great idea. We just hadn't put it out there yet, but the response from that audience was stellar. Okay, next slide. Okay, some of the slides that you're going to see behind me here are news releases about the industry and where it's going. So read this. 2017 Tech Trends. Esports may disrupt sports viewing. So this industry that nobody really knows about yet is already outperforming the sports industry on a global scale. You know, I'm a football fan. I love the Dallas Cowboys. But they've got a nice global audience, but it's nowhere the size of what one of these gaming platforms can bring, okay, in terms of the attention and the viewership, okay? So esports will reach 88 million fans in the U.S. and 495 million globally by 2020. So that's the audience that we're reaching into, okay? Go ahead, next slide. New report, esports audience could almost double to 600 million by 2020 with big growth for esports betting, okay? So again, it talks to the size of what's already there. I mean, you know, some of you are probably familiar with hockey stick curves when technology is released. Okay? The technology starts kind of flat and it starts to get more popular. That's the hockey stick curve, and then it goes straight up from there. We're still at the bottom of the curve in this industry that out-earned the music industry by $20 billion in 2015. Think about that. Nobody knows about it, but it already out-earned an industry that's been around for over 100 years by $20 billion in 1 year. Okay, next. So I'm not going to read all these, but you can see some of these. I'll pick a couple out here, but why esports? We follow the wealthy who invest millions into R&D and determine investment trends. So just a couple of these. Memphis Grizzlies co-owner increases stake in the Immortals. That's one esports franchise, okay? So you have professional sports reaching into a new community to try to expand their reach, to draw another revenue stream. You have individual professional athletes, Shaquille O'Neal being one, who own their own esports teams, okay? So it's really catching on. These pro athletes are looking ways to monetize after they've played the game and been very successful. They're reaching into a brand new industry to do that. The Kraft Group and Mark Lesrie invest in esports. This is big money coming in, okay? And it's something that the industry has been seeing for a few years now, and it's just starting to take off. Okay? Pac-12 to enter esports in the upcoming year. So that was over a year ago when that bullet point was made. You had the Pac-12 and the Big Ten collegiate leagues competing with each other now. Same way they do in football, baseball, basketball. They have formed esports teams and are competing intercollegiately. One of our partnerships is Robert Morris University. They look to us as a system to pre-qualify their gamers that are going to come into their platform on scholarships. They gave out $500 million in scholarships last year for gamers to come and fund their, they might want to get a degree in computer science, for example, or a medical degree. Could even be anthropology, all right? Whatever their passion for that degree program is, they're able to fund it through their passion in esports. Okay? UCI, the first public university to offer League of Legends scholarships. That's right in our backyard. Okay? So, and I'll be there on the 9th presenting. I think the gentleman's in the room here. He's got an organization For the students, I'm going to go there as I'm the one person with gray on his chin that will be there talking that day. The rest are younger, a lot younger than me, millennials. All right? It's a parent night. I'm a parent. My son is a gamer. He's here tonight. I'm going to be there telling my journey about esports and how they can relate to it. Okay? Next slide. League of Legends. Yeah. Or laugh out loud, depends on the context. Right, so esports competitive gaming landscape. The esports competitive gaming segment of the video gaming industry experienced phenomenal growth in the last 5 years. I'm going to skip down to the middle here. One of the main factors predicted to contribute to this growth is the creation of a development platform for both casual and amateur gamers to transition to pro gamer status. That's what we've set up to do. So we're going to take casual gamers, skill level 1 through 3, develop them inside our platform, and eventually move them on up to pro, amateur, and pro status within our platform. The colleges are interested in us because they see us as a feeder system, kind of like a bush league, right? Or the pros like us because we're a AA type thing, where we can pre-qualify gamers for them and deliver an entire team into the pro realm, ready to play, ready to compete. Okay? So we were part of that prediction. We're going to live it now. We're launching finally. Okay? Next slide. So esports viewership, look at the comparisons here. Okay, Super Bowl, football, 112 million viewers. League of Legends had 27 million. Okay? Hasn't reached it yet, but it's getting there, right? And each year going forward, it's going to get closer and closer. Masters had 25 million. Dota 2, that's one game, drew 20 million in viewership. All right? It's already catching up with the Masters, Pro Golf, which has been around for a little while. NBA Finals drew 15.5 million. World Series, 13.8 million. So if you look at Dota 2 compared to those two, which are established and been around for decades and have multiple generations watching them, fathers, sons, granddaughters, mothers, multiple generations watching those sports, we're talking about one generation of esports viewership. And it's already catching and passing them, okay? That's how big this is. Okay, next slide. So this is the whole ecosystem. If you look in the center, you have professional competitive gaming. You have the various channels that feed into it. The streaming channels, Twitch, is basically like the ESPN of esports. They just stream video game competitions, and fans tune in to watch those, okay? Africa there's a South Korean streaming company. We've actually talked to them since E3. They have interest in the content we can deliver to them, okay? We come down to the game publishers like Riot, Valve, Activision, Blizzard, which is right here in our backyard, one of the biggest publishers of the games. Okay? Come around to the leagues. You have EACL, StarCraft, League of Legends, all out there competing right now at the pro level. What's lacking is a true development platform for the amateurs to feed into that pro level and still earn a living at what they love to do. That's what we're going to provide to them. That's the difference between us and other amateur platforms. Then you have the sponsors and the teams themselves, okay? Amateur competitive gaming and all gaming, that's the space we're plugging into, that realm right there, both of them, okay? Next slide. And next slide. Okay, esports earnings. Look down the right side here, recent tournaments. Kind of an eye chart for you guys because I can barely read it, but the top one there, Madden, $500,000 is the prize being offered, okay? If you look at the top players of 2017, 305,000, total 422,000. Down here, the Jonathan Sunstream, $1.2 million in prize money that was earned there, okay? So that's at the pro level. And if they're lucky enough to get sponsored there, they can make a decent living doing that, okay? But they have to win the prizes. They don't get a real good salary for it. So they have to look for other ways to monetize, and that's another part of another area that we're plugging into to help these pros monetize what they're doing. Okay, next slide. Okay, brand spending on esports. So these are the brands that we're all familiar with. You can see that it just keeps going up and up and up. And by 2019, it's predicted to be $800 million, right, in terms of just the money that they're willing to put into it. That's advertising income and sponsoring income. Okay, so they're looking for good gamers to sponsor, all right? But to find those gamers, they got to run tournaments. If the tournaments aren't selling enough seats, the tournament gets shut down. So that's a real problem, right? They pull their money out of it before it can even happen. And that creates a bad experience for the gaming community. So we're coming at a different angle, and Mr. Reddick is going to explain a little bit more about how we're going to plug into that space and fulfill the need there. Okay, next slide. So the investors, 500 startups in the United States, March Capital partners. You look at the investment dollars over on the right side here. Total amount raised, $3.126 million. Sorry about that. 3.126. That's billion, right? Dollars. Okay. Foundation capital down at the bottom, $5 billion. Okay. It's a lot of money pouring into this industry, still in its youth. Next slide. So the costs of running a tournament. 75,000 to 10,000 color flyers publishing, right? You can see that cost there. That's $75,000 for 10,000 flyers. $1,200 distribution, go on down. Total, grand total of just pulling off that tournament and getting it going is $15,000. If a sponsor pulls the money out before the tournament can happen, it's already, sorry, I'm getting a lot of feedback up. It's already a loss for that tournament provider. Okay, so that's the traditional experience that we're showing you. We're an online tournament provider. We don't have this overhead. Okay, we have a completely different marketing engine that we're going to be utilizing. That's why we're teaming up with nonprofits. They are part of our marketing engine. And what we provide back to them for that is the free fundraising. Okay. Next slide. Say again? Me? Okay, all right. Okay, so that's the end of my part. We do have a video we're going to play for you. Mr. Hymon's going to come up, all right, and then he'll play that, and then we'll introduce Mr. Reddick. Thank you.
Great job. That's right, that's right. Another round of applause for Mr. Pidcock. Oh my goodness, you see that? The esports industry, right? We told you we was going to tell you about the esports industry, how huge it is, right? Did you see that? And people investing tens of millions, hundreds of millions in the esports industry, right? And then to look at the cost, how much it would cost if you were going to try to do this on your own, right? So there's power behind it. So that's why we're going to tell you about our solution. But before we do that, we want to play a quick video, okay? Just exit the slides there, and it's opened up in one of the windows. It's a YouTube. So we're going to play a video for you, right? Because we don't want you to just take our word for it, right? Sure, we can sit there and tell you about esports, but as you saw, the Wall Street Journal, Legal Report, all these different credible sources are talking about the esports industry. And we want to play a quick video clip for you, and it's a CNN video clip. And there's so many of these clips that are out there that you can actually see, where people like Rick Fox, people like Shaquille O'Neal, all these type of people, news outlets. This is something that's actually starting to catch wind, right? Depends on the people who are plugging into what's happening in the world. So we're going to go ahead and play a video for you on CNN and let you hear from them, right, as far as what's happening in the esports industry, okay? No, the YouTube. There you go.
I know what you're thinking. Professional video games? Seriously? Well, yeah, this is serious business. Get that image of a soda-chugging, frozen pizza-eating geek who never leaves his bedroom out of your head. Esports is the real deal, like Evander Holyfield. Don't believe me? Doesn't matter. I got the facts to prove it. You may think it's about mashing buttons at random. No! Esports has got human reflexes fast enough to teach Usain Bolt a thing or two about getting off the blocks. It's got enough fans to make the NHL's slip and slide. Tell me more, tell me more. Okay, well now that I've got your attention, let me break it down for you. Huge tournaments are held all over the world with audiences of up to 113,000 people in attendance, and that's dwarfed by the online viewership, with some tournaments reaching 34 million viewers via platforms such as Twitch. Sponsors are getting involved, pouring in boatloads of cash. That's a real measurement, right? Esports is set to become a billion-dollar industry by the end of 2017, but the prize money is already turning these teenagers into multi-millionaires. So what do they play? A lot of different games. Esports is an all-encompassing term for a variety of games, from multiplayer online battle arenas, or MOBAs, like League of Legends, to first-person shooters like Counter-Strike. So where's it going, you say? Virtual reality and all those bigger, better things! So why haven't I heard of it? Because you've been living under a rock. So follow Shain's guide to awake from your slumber and get ready to join the esports generation.
All right. Well, it gives me great pleasure. Thank you for watching that video, for your viewing pleasure. And I'm so excited to bring up the next speaker. This gentleman is just a dynamic individual, somebody who I've grown to respect and admire tremendously. And the time that I've spent with him, you know, I've grown so much. I mean, this is a guy who has a heart of gold and has stuck to his guns when it comes down to a business model that's truly going to make a change in the world by helping nonprofits. So everybody, please help me give the warmest welcome for our founder, Mr. Michael Reddick.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming out. It's really important to me that we get to show the world that we can start a business and not be about just profits. Our business is about being social entrepreneurs. We want to help nonprofits. We want to be that united way for the little guy that doesn't get donations and doesn't get grants. We want to be there for you because you guys are there in our communities helping us. And a lot of times you can't help enough of us because you don't have the funding. Well, we want to be that entity that helps you. Our goal is to be the #1 fundraising entity in the world. All right, so yeah, very lofty, but our platform is geared that we can host 1.2 million micro tournaments every single month. It's all done through automation. Everything's already set up for you. So what we do is we find investors and donors to help us so that the nonprofits themselves, it doesn't cost you anything to get involved with us. But what we do ask for from you is a partnership. We need for you to advertise. We need for you to talk about us on your Facebook and your Twitter. Because if we have 50,000 entities talking about us, that means we're viral, right? That means a whole lot of people are learning about us. And if there are more people that are learning about us, the more people that play on our platforms. There's 2.1 billion gamers in the world. 300 million of them consider themselves amateur gamers. So look at the marketplace that we have. They play from their home. They play games that they already have, Madden, FIFA. Can you hear me? Madden, FIFA. So you guys got to remind me, I'm not used to holding microphones. Make sure I can be heard, all right? So we're not talking about new games that no one's ever heard of. We're not talking about them having to leave their homes to do this. They're already playing and competing against people all across the world. Our platform is in 22 different languages and in 18 different countries. And we want to take this platform and be able to give back to our community. So what is the EACL opportunity about? They just showed you the cost of running a tournament. If you was to give away $1,000 in a tournament, it would cost you roughly $15,000 to put on to try to give away 1,000. What we've done is we've taken that number and we spread it across a number of individuals, and donors and investors that want to give back to their community. But the good part about it is you're not just giving back. For $5,000, you could be in business for a year, never have another payment, and receive a passive income of up to $80,000. Now, it can generate up to $100,000, but that's if you want to run the business. Most of you in here might not know gaming. So you might want to hire your child, your nieces or nephews that want to, and you have to pay them a little something, right? So that's why it's only $80,000 in a passive income. Our job simply is to help make your $5,000 back. So if you're going to put you in business for a whole year for $5,000, that means you're giving me 12 months to make back $5,000. Anything after I make your money back, you're going to like it, right? So the potential of making $80,000 without you having to work, but now look what it does. Like for me, my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter is the co-host of the company. and co-CEO, I'm sorry. She's the co-CEO of the company. She's a 17-year-old college student. She's in her third year of college. She graduated at 15. She's an applied mathematics major with a concentration in quantitative finance. And amazingly enough, thank you. I don't know if I got about an eighth of the credit. Her mom homeschooled her, and, so probably all that came from her side. I got a little bit to do with it, but, So the fun part about it is that when we're doing things and we're talking about being in business, I'm in a business that she can relate to. You're talking about being in a business now that your kids can relate to. Can you imagine when you come home and you tell your kids that you've been out to a business opportunity about playing video games? Right? Everybody has that same look. The kids look at you like, are you serious, Mom? Serious, Dad? Right? Yes. So this is a communication thing that you can actually invest in something, pass it on to your kids that they like. It's not like being Sanford and Son, you having a junkyard trying to pass it on, right? They're like, that's okay, just sell the business, Mom. We're all right with that one, right? So we're talking video games. The next generation may not be raising money on golf courses. These kids like playing video games. So we're on the cusp of helping them get introduced to business, raise money, and teach them along the way that their daily traits can be given back to their community, right? That's something that we weren't taught. We're taught capitalism, go out and get all that we can so that, we grew up in the yuppie age, right? Get all the toys that you possibly can before you die, and you can care less about anybody else. How selfish is that? We should get as much as we can to give back so that we can help those that can't help themselves. How enjoyable is life when you have enough money and you're giving back all the time, making sure that those who are less fortunate have the ability to take advantage of some of the things because of the services that a lot of you offer. When we started talking about, starting a nonprofit, every time I think of an idea, somebody already has some part of it, right? So I said, instead of me starting my own nonprofit, I actually rather just support nonprofits, right? And then I have a platform that can support 50,000 nonprofits. It makes it a lot easier than making all the money and trying to decide on who I'm going to give it to each time, right? So that's what we're here about. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come out here and to be introduced to this world. So I always keep it short. I'm not a guy that likes to talk a lot. I keep it short. So if you guys have any questions for us, I know my CMO is going to come back up and close it out. We have one gentleman that's I'm so lucky to have him. His name is Travis. Travis is a pro gamer. When Travis met us at E3, mind you, we were at E3, and I was so fortunate that we were there. We're one of only 250 companies at E3, and this is a worldwide convention. I'm there with multi-million-dollar companies, and here my company is just getting started, and we got our little space there and trying to show ourselves out. But let me tell you something. I slept good for a week because I was there. You understand me? I still love to talk about it. I always say I was one of the vendors at E3. I'll be saying this in 2020, so you ain't got nothing to say. So I plan on being there absolutely every year. The feeling was absolutely amazing to be there. To see something that you dream about manifest to that degree is just the elation, I'm telling you, is just outrageous. You know what I'm saying? But Travis, we met him at E3. Travis is a pro gamer that has put himself through USC through playing video games. Not just any old school. We're talking USC. That's a top dollar school, right? So, and not only that, when Travis heard us talking, he said to us, this is amazing. I wish I had a platform like this when I was coming up. Which our platform is about, you pay $10 or $20 to play. You get a chance to win $1,000. There's no place in the world that you can do that but our platform. All right? So we actually raised our own $1 million. We will give away at least $50,000 per gaming title, and we will have 20 gaming titles. So we're not going to just worry about one gaming title, hoping that we can get all the customers in that gaming title. We have 20 gaming titles. All right? And each one of them we'll give away at least $50,000 a month. But we have the capability to, right? So if you have enough gamers, we want to give away at least $50,000 a month per gaming title. So you can see that we've set ourselves aside. There's only 11 other major platforms, but none of them actually cater to just the amateur gaming platform. Our platform is designed that it doesn't matter if you're a skill level 1, which means you just barely start playing, or you're on the verge of getting ready to go pro. Our platform has a solution for you for that. Our platform allows that you can play a guy that you know you're going to get beat by, but you can still get enough points that you can even still qualify to play for the money against other people of your like skill. So just because in the beginning of your qualifying rounds, you may play against somebody that's better than you, it doesn't mean that you won't have a chance to play for the money. So with that being said, I would like to introduce Mr. Travis to come on up here and to give you his point of view from a gamer, someone who's in the industry, to tell you what it is that we have here, all right? So please welcome Travis for me.
What's up, guys? I just first want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out. There's nothing like this existing in the esports landscape right now. And when I saw them at E3, I knew I had to reach out, talk to them, because it was something close to my heart. There was nothing like this when I first started out. I'm playing on the MLG ESL circuits, and I had to bust my butt to get where I'm at. I was putting in 10 to 12 hours a day, every day, to reach to the Master Division level when we had ranked play for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And I had to put in countless hours to be ranked where I'm now for Battlefield 4, going to Battlefield 1. I had a struggle, and to see that there is a platform here that is reaching out to gamers just getting in, that just really touched my heart. I knew I had to be part of this organization. I just knew that this is going to be the future. This is going to be where we can actually attract gamers to come in and actually help propel their careers forward, because I never had anything like this at all whatsoever. And so I knew that when I saw these guys, I was going to work with them, and I'm so excited to be part of this organization. We're going to change the esports landscape entirely. And actually, currently that you have with the esports world today, there's a huge gap between amateur gaming and professional gaming. EACL is here to bridge that gap. We're here to actually encourage kids to enter into tournaments, to come and join our league, because right now, to be completely honest and truthful with you, the current leagues that exist today, they put up lots of restrictions, barriers to entry, which is actually really intimidating for younger gamers coming into the scene. A lot of gamers look at, I have to spend countless hours in putting on game battles for MLG. Game battles, by the way, is a preliminary portal for gamers to accrue a certain amount of MLG Pro points, so they're just eligible to be able to enter into a tournament. So the points right there is already acting as a barrier to entry, and in order to accrue enough MLG Pro points, you're going to have to put how many hours in? And then after that, you gain admittance into a tournament. Then you have to put, then there's another barrier to entry, which is the actual paywall after that. And there's no guarantee that you're going to win the tournament or that you're going to make any sort of placement whatsoever. And so the costs outweigh, the long-term benefits. And same thing, ESL has slightly different structure, but with ESL Play, all these top-notch gamers are putting in all these hours, and there's no return. Even for people like us who do reach the pro level, the salaries, if there is any, are really low. And also, too, you have to then reach out to sponsors. And then a lot of gamers now are turning to their huge social media followings on YouTube, Twitch, to gain that traction and also for another source of income. We're here to change that game entirely. We're here to actually introduce the largest pay-to-play reward ratio in the esports industry, period. With just a $10 entry fee, or if you want to go up to the $20 premium membership level, you can have access to all these tournaments for $1,000 prize pools. $10, and then if you win $1,000, that ratio right there doesn't exist in the industry at all. So on top of that, we also are going to be going for the higher divisions that we go. There's going to be sponsorships that we be giving out, and also two university scholarships that go towards your education. Absolutely. And in addition to, we bring the nonprofit element as well. We're actually the first league to be interlacing nonprofit involvement so that gamers can give back to their community and intersect nonprofits so that a portion of all their membership fees go towards those nonprofits. So the parents look at gaming, it's like, you're just sitting your butt on the couch, you're not doing anything, you're not achieving anything, but you'd be like, Mom, I just helped this nonprofit pay for it to help these children or whoever, whatever nonprofits organizations' goals are, we're helping them give money, which then helps give those people money who need help the most. So, and then on top of that, I would also like to note the huge third element here which is the opportunity that we are providing young gamers to going to the pro level. We're going to be giving EACL is going to be a career pedestal for gamers to be able to rise up to the higher echelons of EACL, the higher divisions, to reaching EACL pro status. And from there, you'll get sponsorships and a bunch of other goodies as well. And so for a lot of gamers who are intimidated, scared, don't know where to begin, which tournament, which league to start off in, start here. Because we're going to take you, if you have the skill to what it takes to rise to the top, you will be rewarded at EACL, and you will rise to the top, and you will go to the EACL pro level, which then will launch you to, who knows, there might be ever bigger leagues down the road as well coming in. But we're here to guide you and to provide a career pedestal for your career if you are serious about having an esports career. But on top of that, for those gamers that, might not have aspirations of going pro, we're offering an all-encompassing welcome one, welcome all platform. And that's also really unique as well, because there's so many leagues out there that just say, oh, we're a pro league. Sorry, you can't join us. You have to spend now hours putting in just to acquire enough points to play in our tournaments. We don't put those paywalls, we don't put those barriers to entry up. As soon as you pay, you could come play. And so just for the casual gamer who wants to come in and just enjoy, play against their friend, play against their colleagues, just have that kind of like that fun competitive environment, we're here for you too. Thank you guys so much. I really look forward to building EACL to become the prime premier platform for amateur gaming.
All right, one more hand for Travis Cochran, everybody. Please give him some love. Our very own pro gamer on staff, right? Who knew they dressed so well, right? Oh my goodness. And articulate. We're so fortunate. At this time, we also want to invite the management team. All of you who are on the management team, please come up. Please come up. Give them a hand, please. Please come up. Everybody has worked so hard to get us to where we're at today. We're so thankful for everybody's efforts, as well as we are thankful for you guys being here tonight, okay? Thank you. Fade me out, fade me out. Now, we also want to show an example of what the back office looks like. Now, we've been working very hard to develop not just the functioning technology, but also the look and feel that our dealers and master dealers deserve, as well as the nonprofits, okay? So everybody who sees this vision and it makes sense to them, and they decide to take up a position with our company, wherever it is that they choose into, okay, they're going to get a back office that looks just like this. Isn't it beautiful, guys? Let's give a hand for this. Okay, so if you scroll back up to the top, I just want to show you guys, this is something that people can log into on a daily basis and see a snapshot of what's happening in their business or their fundraising campaign, okay, where it's going to show them the money earned month to date. So this would be a dealer or a master dealer, right? The money that they earned month to date and the money that they raised month to date. How many premium passes that they've sold, how many premium seats that they've sold, which is on a monthly basis. The premium pass is a yearly pass. Okay, it's also going to show your open tournament seats that are sold, and the last number there is how many remaining seats that you have to fill. Okay, so this shows you what's happening in your esports business or your esports fundraising center. Okay, that's what this back office is called, an esports business center or an esports fundraising center. Okay, now if you scroll down a little bit, there's also other widgets here that are going to be available that's going to track everything that's happening in the business. Okay, give them an opportunity to bring on more donors. Keep scrolling. I also like this map down here, which, if you keep scrolling, it's going to show them really how many people. I'm sorry, it's not showing up here, but that's okay. And we're still working on it. But it's going to show you, even on a geographic scale, where your gamers/donors are. So just to get a snapshot of what's happening in your business or your fundraising campaign is amazing. And to see that on a global map, I mean, that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on as far as bringing value to nonprofits, giving them access to donors on a global scale outside of their local market, right? and to actually see that on a map. These are all my gamers. I got gamers over here, which are donors. I got gamers over there, which are donors. So we're very excited about that back office. We wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what that's looking like, and we're very excited about it, okay? So let's give that a hand, please. All right. So again, we just wanted to give a very special thank you to the management team as well. If you guys can come here and bring the center stage right here as we thank you. Everybody here that you see on the stage, Travis Cochran, Greg Tarbett, Dr. Revlin Williams, Jacqueline Flowers, Elisa Narduli, Rexford Guy Demazelier. We also have Gary Shelton. You guys heard from Tim Pidcock, our CEO of Woot, and we also have Mr. Mark Bush here as well. So everybody give them all a hand for all of their contribution. So once again, we want to thank you guys for being here. We're going to mingle for a little while longer, but we're going to end this presentation. Again, thank you guys all for being here. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your contribution because we are after a very lofty goal, and it takes the efforts of all of us. Everybody plays their own unique, specific role, and it's very important. So we want to thank you guys all for being here, and give yourselves one last round of applause as we end this presentation. Thank you guys so much. All right, very good. So management team, let's go here to the back by the Woot Loop backdrop. We're going to take some pictures. Everybody else that's here, please feel free to join us. Let's go back there. Let's take some pictures. Let's capture this event because I'm telling you, it's history in the making. Thank you guys so much for being here. DJ Brent to the DJ booth, please. Let's get some music going on.